remembering William Friedkin's cultural phenomenon, The Exorcist. Horror fans and even scary cats know that a horror film that has exorcisms has become just another trip to the movie theater. Thrilling jump scares are such a monumental part of exorcism and possession movies, thanks in part to a movie that not only changed the horror genre forever, but ultimately became such a cultural phenomenon in the world. The ones who went to watch it when it came out still vividly remember the sheer terror they felt when The Exorcist started to play. Almost 50 years ago, William Friedkin's horror masterpiece based on the novel by William Peter Blatty premiered. People stayed in line during the harsh weather of December to try and buy a ticket to see the movie. Movie theaters had to hire new security guards to manage the crowds. They distributed coffee and sodas to the people in line. They made a coupon system where they gave people in line coupons that secured their spots in the screenings. And yet, after waiting for hours to get tickets, many left the movie theater halfway through the story. People crying, throwing up, and fainting became a recurrent issue, so much so that the venue staff had smelling salts of different kinds to wake people up. There were even heart attacks and one miscarriage reported. This story had such an impact on some viewers that, reportedly, a man during the crucifix scene got up and started to fight the actual screen in an attempt to stop the devil. The hold The Exorcist had on the audience was something that no one had ever seen before. There were negative reviews that came from critics and, as expected, some religious leaders. Friedkin always had a dark and nonsensical way of speaking, and he commented on some negative reviews.
I've never heard that. Let's put it that way. My attitude about the book was it was a great classic work of literature. I believe that The Exorcist will be, the novel, will be regarded years from now as the works of Edgar Allan Poe are regarded today.
Billy Graham, who was not Catholic, denounced it from the pulpit and said the devil is in every frame of this film. Now how he examined every frame, I don't know. The Exorcist became more than a movie. It was a question about religion and the fight between good versus evil. Church attendance increased after the film's premiere, and it's not at all a coincidence. This was the first horror movie that was nominated for the Best Picture at the Academy Awards, as well as 9 other nominations. However, to the dismay of many, including Warner Brothers and Blatty himself, they only won 2 categories: Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Sound Mixing. The movie wasn't just a pioneer of its time that changed people's lives and the industry forever. To this day, viewers who watch it for the first time are still terrified. That has to do with the brilliance behind the camera as well as everyone involved in the making of the feature film. It is considered by many the scariest movie ever made. It is hard for a scary movie to surpass the test of time, but The Exorcist is certainly one that does. The pacing of the movie, the framing, everything about it feels modern. Even if some of these special effects are outdated, the sheer terror of the superb storytelling makes the audience forget about the timestamp on the 50-year-old movie. The impact The Exorcist had was substantial. Multiple movies dealing with exorcisms have come out every year, many of whom tried to emulate just an ounce of the fear created in the original, but most have fallen short of the glory of The Exorcist. Every time an influential person dies, it is normal to go back and see the legacy they left behind. Friedkin passed away on August 7th when he was 87 years old. To think of him and not mention the complete cultural shift his horror adaptation had would be a disservice. Friedkin not only made a mark on horror, but on cinema history, and more importantly, on the people that press play for the first time, even so many decades later, on this impossibly human story about demonic possession. We hope you enjoyed our tribute to William Friedkin and his cultural phenomenon, The Exorcist. Be sure to follow and subscribe to MovieWeb for more interesting videos exploring film.